he's looking for ways to serve a third term in office. He clarified Sunday that he is, quote, not joking and is exploring methods to do it.
Welcome back, YouTube. It's your host, Bruce GNT, and you already know what we're here to talk about. Now, look, before we jump into this video, I just want to say, I heard whispers about this, like, I want to say a month ago, where some congressman, he was trying to put forth legislation to make it so that Trump specifically, because he was saying something about like how make it so that presidents could do a third term, but not Obama or I think Bush, I want to say. I'm not too sure exactly. But I saw that, ignored it because congressmen come up with a whole lot of dumbass legislation and it hardly ever gets passed, and I didn't hear anything more about it. But yesterday, I started hearing about how apparently Trump just outwardly said, hey, look, I want to run for a third term. I'm the type of person, when I hear things, I try to immediately get the sources and make sure that what I'm hearing is correct. I try to do my little bit of research. So that's why I'm a little bit like behind when it comes to certain news. Not because I'm slow, well, I am slow, but because I want to really make sure that what I'm talking about is valid and it has some supporting evidence, because I don't want to waste people's time talking about shit that it has nothing. It's just smoke and mirrors. But I'm not even gonna waste any time. We're just gonna jump right into this video, and then after we listen to it, I have another video lined up to kind of explain a little bit more. Then we're gonna go over my thoughts, because I have my feelings about it, but I'll let you guys know later.
You said you were not joking about a third term, about possibly wanting a third term. Does that mean you're not planning to leave office on January 20th?
I'm not looking at that, but I'll tell you, I have had more people ask me to have a third term, which is in a way a fourth term, because the other election, the 2020 election, was totally rigged. So it's actually sort of a fourth term in a certain way. I just don't want the credit for the second, because Biden was so bad, he did such a bad job. And I think that's one of the reasons that I'm popular, if you want to know the truth. I think I'm popular because we've done a great job. I think we've had the best almost 100 days of any president. And most people are saying that. And it's an honor. We're bringing back our country. We're respected as a country again. And we're strongly respected. And people are amazed. I was with some very important people today, and they said that they've never seen a turnaround of a country as fast as this. Even look at our border. We have nobody coming in. And you can come into our country, but you have to come in legally. But we have nobody coming in to our country. It's almost shut down. They've never seen anything like this.
At an appropriate precedent limits a president to 2 terms. Is it your understanding that they have to be?
I don't even want to talk about it. I'm just telling you, I have had more people say, please run again. They said, we have a long way to go before we even think about that. But I've had a lot of people. Yeah, go ahead. Did you have something?
Yeah, I just wanted to ask, do you think that's an appropriate precedent to set, even if it wasn't you in this position, to see a president serve a third term?
I don't want to talk about a third term now, because no matter how you look at it, we got a long time to go. We have a long time. You know, we have almost 4 years to go. And that's a long time. But despite that, so many people are saying, you've got to run again. They love the job we're doing. Most importantly, they love the job we're doing.
So you said you were upset with Putin. Would you say your relationship with Vladimir Putin is at its lowest point right now?
No, I don't think so. I don't think he's going to go back on his word. You're talking about Putin. I don't think he's going to go back on his word. I've known him for a long time. We've always gotten along well, despite the Russia hoax. It's a hoax created by Clinton and Schiff and all of these lunatics. And that really was a dangerous point. That was a very dangerous thing they did to this country. It was a pure, unadulterated scam, hoax.
Yeah, that's pretty much all he really said about it in this video so far. So I'm just gonna cut all the little nonsense out. So my thoughts on this: I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't care what anybody says. I don't like it. This is a republic that has democratic, characteristics upheld by the Constitution. I don't think anyone should be going for a third term. I don't give a damn. And the thing that bugs me with Trump, and what's bugged me since 2016, and I stand on this, is not going to change, is that I don't like, because part of me feels like he's trolling. Like, this is not the first time he says something inflammatory that he knows is going to make people talk and get people annoyed. But to me, it's annoying because it's like, okay, You have people that actually want to see you do well, because him doing well is the country doing well. In my personal opinion, you don't feel like that, I don't give a damn. You make it hard for people to say, yeah, he's not all these different things, when you say things that people are saying that you're trying to do. Because this is my thing, right? He opens his mouth too much, and I think he plays around and tries to troll too much. And it's like, okay, if this was a different time where people weren't setting Teslas on fire, people weren't actively saying, hey, look, on social media platforms, someone should, the president, if this wasn't a time where all these different things were happening based off of someone's ideologies and just beliefs, fine, I don't care. Ha ha ha, he, all the way home. I don't give a damn. But right now, to make jokes where people are really in mental distress thinking I have to do a thing to save the US even though this dude might be joking, I don't think this is the right time, personally. You know what I'm saying? I'm 50-50. Part of me really feels like he's joking because I've seen him joke like this before. It's fucking annoying. But the other part of me is like, okay, why are you saying these things that you know people are gonna like lash out for and then it's gonna cause discourse? Why? It just doesn't make sense to me. You know, and they were talking about like the different ways he could do it. We're gonna jump into that next video in a second, but I just want to say this, right? I may have voted for him and I may support some of the things that he's done so far, and I don't think he's doing a terrible job. I'm going to address that in other videos where it talks about the effects of some of his terrorists and whatnot. A lot of people are kind of confused about it. That's something I'm going to break down in a video one day. But I don't agree with how he goes about certain things, this being one of them. Because all social media is all the Twitter about how he says he's gonna do it, he says he's gonna do it. And it gets really hard for me to say it's not true when he says shit like this, because now I'm just sitting there like, I could think whatever I want to think all day long, but at the end of the day, when it comes out his fucking mouth, it's like, oh goddamn, like what do I say to this? You know, because now it's gonna sound like I'm jocking him by being like, he's just joking, guys. You know, it's like the whole Canada thing. I know he's not serious about wanting Canada because that's stupid. Canada is so far left, and the amount of seats and votes that they will get when it comes to election, Republicans will never get back in. That'd be stupid for him to actually want Canada. And then their whole economy, everything about Canada would be disaster for the US to take it. So that's how I know he doesn't truly want Canada. He's trolling. You know what I'm saying? I get that part. And if you think I'm wrong, cool. I don't care. Just put it down in the comments. Look into Canada's economy. Look at the housing crisis. Look at the migrant crisis. Look at the job crisis. Look at all of it. Their taxes as well. Atrocious. But let's jump into this next video, and then we're really going to mine out his thoughts and what we perceive to be him being truthful.
So this is a big week for the Trump administration. You've got new tariffs expected to go into effect Wednesday, and President Trump also says he's looking for ways to serve a third term in office. He clarified Sunday that he is, quote, not joking, and is exploring methods to do it despite the Constitution prohibiting such a thing.
I have had more people say, please run again. They said, we have a long way to go before we even think about that. But I've had a lot of people.
For more on this, let's bring in CBS News correspondent Natalie Brand, live for us at the White House this morning. Natalie, good morning to you. A third presidential term is just not constitutional. So what does Mr. Trump mean here?
Yeah. Good morning to you, Errol. The 22nd Amendment states quite clearly that was added to the Constitution in 1951. It says no person shall serve more than 2 terms in the office of president. But these comments were made by President Trump during a phone interview with NBC News and Kristen Welker, when he said that he is thinking about this, but he would not, Errol, really elaborate on the methods. Welker at one point said, well, could one possible scenario be that Vice President J.D. Vance runs and then essentially passes the baton if he were to win? And Trump said, you know, that's one way, but there's other ways. But again, he would not give details. But again, this is not constitutional. And as far as that scenario that I just mentioned, the 12th Amendment states that if you are ineligible to serve as vice president, then you can't be president either. As you just played there, Errol, though, the president did, upon returning to D.C. yesterday, he said, you know, this is still a long ways off, and that his focus right now is on this term.
And separately, Natalie, the President Trump says this will be a big week for his tariffs. What can we expect?
Yeah, that's seemingly all they had to say about that. Look, even with that statement, it's still too early. Motherfucker, it doesn't matter how early it is. You can't run a third goddamn time. You see, this is going to turn into me just being like one of those liberal people screaming into the ether about how he's going to turn this into like a dictatorship or whatever the fuck. No, my thing is this. I'm 50-50. 50% of me really thinks he's joking because first of all, he's old as fuck. Like, I don't know why he would even want to do that. Why he want to go through that stress? Because he's not confused and stupid. He knows that people would riot in this. Like, he knows that. Like, he full on knows that. Even the people that did vote for him, he knows that's a possibility, and just people wouldn't react well to that. So that's why part of me is just like, I see him just joking about it, but at the same time, why joke about that? I don't get it. Like, one thing I've always known about Trump is that he's performative. You know, he does things to get a rise out of people. He does things because he knows people are going to be talking about it. But it's like, why? Why give them ammunition? The same thing in 2016. Every little thing this man did, it diverted from the good he was actually doing because they kept talking about that. If this is him just trolling and whatnot, why? Just why? Just can you stick to the work and just do that shit and then just bounce? Why can't you do that? Like, explain that to me. On the offhand, if he is for real and he's not trolling, hell no, I'm not down for that. No, that's unconstitutional. We're not gonna move like that. The people won't stand for something like that because that's unconstitutional. It's not a thing. You know, it shouldn't happen. It should never happen unless they want to amend the Constitution. Then that just proves everything that they're saying about this person right. Which, like I said before, I don't think half the stuff they say about him is right. If you don't care for my opinion, go cry about it. I don't give a damn. But I just don't. Because when you look into certain things, even from 2016, a lot of stuff that they were saying about him just wasn't true. This right here does not help the credibility. And I know he doesn't care because why would he? But it's like, the country is already spazzing out about certain shit. Why give him one more when we could just stick to the facts, stick to actually doing good work and everything like that? Why? But I'll keep on top of this because, like I said before, I think he's trolling. I truly do. When it comes to that phone conversation, I'm the type of person, I need to hear it for myself for me to be like, okay, you know what? It's a real thing. Because a lot of times people like to say, well, this is what he said. It's like, I gotta take it with a grain of salt. I really do. I really do. If we hear more about this and they start making moves to make it a possibility for him to run a third term, then yeah, I'll have to eat crow and sit there in my little corner, hold my corner, and just admit that I was wrong. I effed up. Is what it is. I just gotta take that L. But yeah, that's it for now for this video. This shouldn't have even been a video. Like, I don't even know why he's entertaining this. This is just stupid. But you guys already know the drill. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, comment down below, tell me your thoughts. Hopefully none of you will be behind this man if he wants to go again, because the Constitution, like, you know, I mean, you're free to say it, but I'm just saying, like, I'm not with you. I'm not. And subscribe if you want more. Peace.